The first chapter of the rest book even says the compiler is not there for logic error. It won't catch op1 or reverse logic. I mean, not like I just showed you that. It can eliminate classes of errors. Absolutely, it does. The struct method syntax is so good for function discovery. The biggest challenge I faced with Julia, which is also a functional language, is that I couldn't figure out which functions may or may not be defined for the type you're using. Okay, next thing. Update syntax highlighting library for new course. Yes, this is a big one. So, who had said this? Overlay did. All right, so we are using okay, so if we go into our Docker course and everything's private, I need to log in to Onus again. Okay, so if we take a look at some of these, like here, that, we're not getting any color suggestions from Bash or Docker or other things. And I believe that Overlaid had written a script for us, which it was a while ago. And I forget what it was, and it basically looked through everything and grabbed what we wanted to do from the articles, which actually I think that might have been in get code types. So if I copy get code types into Docker course articles, I should put this into a Docker image, and then I can just run this wherever I want as a command. That would probably work. Okay, so let's run get to code types, and it tells me, okay, these are the types that I now need to add in. And we're using, what are we using? Prism. We're using Prism for this. And I actually have the Prism in YCL. So I just need to update it here. And you can see, okay, I have my themes. And so I need to update you to have like all the things that I want. So we need to go find Prism. We're gonna download. Minified is fine. I wonder if I want dark. I think default for right now is fine. But then language. Okay, so the languages that I have. So the previous ones that I had was Well, actually, we can see everything in here. I can also run. Okay, so bash. Okay, there's bash, which also gives me plus shell plus shell. Okay, that's good. JSON. Huh, so we have JSON plus web app manifest and then JSON 5. I think it would be that one. Oh, they're the same. Okay, never mind. Markdown. Rust. Shell. I don't think there's like another one for just shell. Shell session, but I think this will be it. SQL. Text. I don't think we have one for just text. I think plain text is fine. Toml. Is there a special ZSH one? No. Hopefully that'll just be shell. Docker file. JSON, sh, toml, and then YAML. Okay, that should be it for everything. I don't know about... I mean, this could be interesting to do plugins eventually. All right, so this is everything. So if I want... Wait, is this? Yeah, this is all my stuff. It's been updated here. So I can just... All? Okay. Oh, it's the CSS that I need it. Wait, does it need both? Oh, yeah, it needs both. So if I open up prison.js, I really... can I just copy and paste you? So there's our JS. And then our CSS. Like that. We'll come over here. We will... Let's re-enable you. Over here, I need a new course. We're going to create an article. So testing Docker. Okay, so we'll just do Docker, like from Ubuntu latest run apt get update and I don't know, command echo hello. So if I do that, create the article, courses, yeah, we have color now in here. So whereas before we did not. So that's awesome. It doesn't catch anything, but a compiler can catch a call to foo -1. Yeah, that's true. Although if you pass in a variable with a -1 into it, it may not catch that. Unless that it actually is a U32 or something. But yeah, I guess that's U size. You just don't want people to believe the compiler is so it's all amazing, but you still have logic errors. That's a runtime problem. Yeah. I think the important thing is to sort of like realize what we want it to be. Oh, change Helix theme. We can do that. It feels a little bit, the background's a little bit more washed out, but it's still very readable. Is this a theme you use? I can't remember what your code looked like, because I didn't stay too long when we read it. But this looks pretty good. All right, I want to. Okay, you're all open. I'm gonna keep this open so I don't lose the theme. So we're gonna do a new window here. Oh, nope, I can't do that yet. I have to update you. Sure, we'll do the same thing here. All right, and deploy again. And I'm finally done with this, so you can all no longer have to worry about me drinking used paint. Shiki.js just released V1. What's Shiki.js? I've never heard of that. Is it a framework? Oh, it's a highlighter. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I just was using Prism because I heard some other people using it and it seemed pretty good. We can definitely. I'll add it to my list of things to check out. So Shiki JS highlighter for code. Oh, is it just for JavaScript, not for other languages? Oh no. Okay, yeah, that won't work for me. No. Look at this. It has all these languages. So here, yeah, so we can highlight Rust. And it can do different themes like this. Lots of themes. Including Night Owl. Nice. IU Dark is the best for you? Ooh, interesting. That's nice. Okay, how are you doing? Okay, you're done with that. Now it's our release time again. Now, is this a major update? Not really. I would say it's still a pretty minor update because there's no like changes that anybody needs to do for it. So this is updated. Okay, so the release is updated YCL updated to latest YCL. And this gets us new syntax highlighting. Okay, almost done. So one of the projects I've been having in my mind to do, which I think would be really fun, is a stack chooser. So basically it would be something that keeps track of all the possible technologies that would go into your stack. And oftentimes we only put in specific stack parts, like parts of the stack. So we're like, okay, the lamp stack, for example. That's a classic old one. Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP. But there's so many other like parts of the technology stack that we're using, and we're only choosing them because we can make them into fun little words. And so I had this idea. What if we created a system that tracked all the different technologies that we can use for everything? And then it can either randomly choose it or like we select them. And then it comes up with like the nice word that we're going to use. And maybe it can try to find a word or a sentence to describe it. Because it's things like, okay, we're using the Helix. I'm using the Alacrity terminal, the Helix editor. We're using Docker. We're using Postgres. We're using all these different things. We have all these libraries and everything else. And maybe we can have like, you know, we have like 55 letters in our stack. And then it was like, okay, can we like choose what that is? What we're gonna do with that? And that would be a lot of fun, I think, to sort of track around and like see what the what the complexity is when choosing technology to run in a project, because it's often a lot more than just saying, oh, we're gonna run the what's a more modern one with like, okay, we have Node React, so it's like what, the Narn or something like that, the Marn stack, the Mongo. Yeah, I can't remember some of the more recent ones. The mean stack was like a big one for a while. Some students, when I was teaching them, they switched over. They're like, okay, we taught them, we purposely didn't teach them Mongo. But then they heard about the mean stack and they're like, okay, well, you're teaching us Postgres. So I'm going to call it the Peen stack. And we were just like, please don't put that on your resume. Do not say Peen stack in an interview. That's not going to work for anybody. All right, almost done our deploy. We've done like what, 4 deploys today? Out of curiosity, how many of you keep track of or like know the number of deploys that like your companies or wherever you're working for yourself or for like anybody else can do, like on average? Or do you know how long it takes to deploy, like after you decide, okay, we're ready to deploy something? Ved, hello. How are you doing today? Can I recommend any good projects for a beginner? The projects that I would assign to beginner students, my favorite one is like a really basic version of a Reddit clone or a Twitter clone. And if you've seen the video that I did where I created an X Twitter clone in Axim and Yew, it'd be something like that, which is you don't want to like actually recreate all of the features of it. You want to create just like you want to use it as an excuse to like create something. So some application that can take in a like a block of text, like some text, and it can display it on the page. It can display them orders. Maybe you can reorder them or not. You can upvote them, and then you can leave comments on them. And if you really think about that, that's very similar to like blogging, like a blog. But blogs aren't really as cool and fun. And so like saying, basically telling people, oh, it's a Reddit clone is a lot more, people enjoy that a lot more. So for a very beginner, that's like what I would recommend, because that hits some of the most complicated part, or some of the most complex parts of building applications. Like you need to use a database, you need to style it to make it look good, you need interactions between a user and the application. If you use comments that can leave on comments, you need many-to-many relationship in said database. So it hits all the things to like get you going with like more complex applications. Now, after you're able to do that, then it gets a little bit more interesting, because at that point in time, I can't really recommend any specific projects. What I can do is recommend a system that I have for finding projects. In that case, what I generally do is just like pay attention to the world around us. And whenever we feel like any problems, any pain, then we're like, oh, hey, maybe I can do something. Maybe I can fix that. And if it's a software project, then there you go. Maybe you can fix that, and you can write code to like make it better. And sometimes that might be making an extension for your browser to make a website a little bit better. Sometimes it could be like a mod for a game, but sometimes it could be like actually just rebuilding somebody else's project, but with a twist that is more unique to how you want to use it. And so what you could do is then look at all those projects and then choose one that like you feel you can tackle. So those are two sort of like one method to come up with the projects and one actual project. Does that answer your question, Ved? Okay, you're currently making an interpreter in Golang. Yeah, that sounds a little bit more advanced than like a Reddit clone. So I can definitely see that. I don't see anything like the Docker. I don't see that changing here. Now, did you update? Oh, this didn't bring in the comments, so I can't see the comments. It just has those, which are too bad. How about the JavaScript? Markup CSS, C-like, JavaScript, Rust. Okay, yeah, this didn't update. Did I forget to rebuild the thing? I think I forgot to rebuild the thing. I need to just come into one of these applications here, write it, this will rebuild. Yeah, I copied over all the functions. So this is something with Docker. Let's see. Yeah, okay, this is showing very different color than I have there. So, okay, I probably need to... No, you're up to date. I would have expected something new. Yeah, I don't see any color coming in here with that. I did update to use the most recent version of Yew. And that's correct. That is the correct version, right? 29 dB. 29 dB. Okay. We have Yew. That should work. Or I guess it should have worked. I would imagine that it should have worked. I should get the correct color thing there. Yeah, none of these are properly... Okay, first of all, you're working, right? Yeah, so I'm getting proper rust coloring. So that works. If we go into Yew, yeah, nothing, absolutely nothing. It's just all... Let's... Yeah, okay, so you're off. Why didn't that pull in? Or rather, why does that work locally but not deployed? So over here, this is working. Oh, maybe, wait, are you working because of this? No? Okay, so even when you're off like that, you work just fine. When we take a look at the prism, yeah, okay, so we can see Markdown, Rust, SQL, TOML, and all that stuff. That's good. I did push you up, right? Yeah, I did do a git push. I did save it and git push you up. Okay. You're set to use that. There's nothing to change here. I did create a new release for it, so it did actually deploy to production. When I deploy, one of the things that it does is I invalidate the cache, so that way it just immediately should be available. Feels odd. Yeah, none of these have. Yeah, they should have something. Okay, do I have an error? No errors in the console. I'm not getting anything errors from Prism. What if I... Okay, disable the cache. Mo, hello! How are you doing today? No, okay, so disable cache didn't work either. Well, that's not great. We're working on an LMS project that I have. It's a learning management system where I'm creating and deploying courses which people can buy. I have a new course that's ready, like close to ready. We're going through beta testing with it, and I'm working on fixes for the LMS itself and the course a little bit to make it better and like actually ready to sell. And right now I'm trying to get the syntax highlighting to work properly, but it's not working the way I want to. Let's see what TUI am I using? So let's see. All like the window manager that I'm using is something called Zellige, and then I guess a TUI manager. So I'm using Zellige for this. That's Zellij, which actually you can see right here. It is pretty cool. I like it a lot. I wonder if I need to just redeploy this. That feels weird though. Can I rerun the deployment one? I wonder if that would do it. GitHub run rerun. Oh, well, these are rerunning failed ones, but this wasn't a failed one. Okay, so on the release, I want to run this one, and so here's the job ID. So I want to do GitHub run rerun that job. Rerun a specific job from a run, including dependencies. Oh, I don't need the -j. I can just do that. Okay, so I can see whether or not, so when it rebuilds in the CI/CD, it recompiles everything. It does like a trunk build, and that should pull in everything from, and I guess it also pulls in the URL. It pulls in the YCL, like whatever the latest is from there. So like since this says that it's been deployed, that should be fine. All right, well, we can watch this again and see if it works this time. If it doesn't work, we can switch to actually pulling Prism from the, we can switch to pull. I wonder if I need to give it like a new name, but that should still be fine. Let's see, is there anything other weird stuff? So I have, yeah, we just have Prism JS and Prism CSS, and we did update these, right? Yeah, you do have all the new ones. So markup, bash, docker, JSON, JSON 5, markdown, Rust. Okay, yes, it has all the new stuff. And you have the new stuff here too. There's no updates, and we did a git push. And we updated the cargo toml here to look at the new one. And we push that too. Yeah, we're up to date here as well. And yeah, we are on the latest Git, we're on the latest YCL. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit weird. I wonder if, oh, I wonder if it's a cache issue. Okay, so I'm using CloudFront, so AWS CloudFront, and I've set the cache to be like cache forever, for as long as it possibly can, every single file. And then whenever I do a release, I bust the cache with a AWS command. And now, so they charge for that, but they give you the first like, I don't know, like 500 per month for free. And I've never come close to being charged for the, for them. So, but I bet because I didn't change the name of the file, I bet that's what it is. So I need to bust not just the cache of, I'm only invalidating index.html. I think I need to invalidate all the JavaScript and CSS too. Or at least those two ones. That's probably what I need to do. That's probably exactly what the problem is. So I need to look at this command. and see how the paths work? Wait, do you not have paths? Oh, paths right there. Okay. Path structure, a complex type that contains information about the objects you want to invalidate. Items is a list, a complex type. Okay. You didn't help at all. Oh, shorthand syntax. Okay. I can do paths equals. Oh. Path string. The space separated paths to be invalidated. Note, invalidation patch and paths are mutually exclusive. Okay, so it's a space separated paths to be invalidated. And you're not going to find anything in there. Okay, so we have. Where did you put it? Oh, is it hidden so I can't see it? Okay, yeah, so in dist we have. All right, so I'm just doing index.html. So in index.html, there is a JS. And then I want to prism.js. I see this. No, okay, that's right. I only see a prism.js. Where's the CSS? I see this prism CSS, but that's not going to be the same. Is it just prism.js? That's probably what it is. I just need to do prism.js. So it's js/prism.js. So it's going to be js/prism.js. All right, so we are going to commit and send updating CI/CD to also bust cache for now. Something that might be nice to look at. I think it's okay. It's just because we're copying over. So we're just copying over the file with trunk as opposed to the CSS where we just say like, hey, actually pull in CSS and pull that in. That's the reason why it's updating the file name for the CSS. And then when the file name gets updated, the cache gets updated for that. Okay, now we get to go through this fun thing again. Yeah, so apparently this one I'm not hashing the file names, which I bet there's something we can do with trunk for that. No, that's not the same thing. Oh yeah, so this is the problem. I could inline it. Yeah, no hashing is performed. Okay, so that's our problem here. There's no hashing performed in copy file, and there's no like CSS. It hashes and pull this in, but it does not do that. There's nothing for JavaScript for that. So that's our problem. That's the reason why this is the only thing I need to do that for. Clearing cache for there are two hard problems in computing: cache invalidation, naming things, and off by one errors. Yeah, that's it. It's one of those things where it's not that. How hard can it really be? And then it's like, oh, actually, it actually can be pretty hard. We have another ad break starting around 3 minutes or so. I'll probably actually take this one as a break since we worked through the last one. Which, since we're doing a deploy right now, you know what? I'm just going to start that ad break early and take the break now. So I'll click the button. Ad break should start any second now, and I will be back very shortly. So see you in a few minutes. Almost done with our deploy. It's that install prerequisites, like all the installing things for Rust, especially doing that. Like it's in release mode for the production, which is it slows down the compile so much. And of course, this is also happening on a free GitHub Actions runner, which has a lot less resources than if I were to like pay money to have my own runner. Like sometimes I feel like maybe I just want to do that. Maybe I just want to like set up a computer around here and set up a custom runner for it, and it could run so much faster. Used to use EC2 instances for builds. Yeah, at the place that I work at, I I set up a custom GitHub runner on an EC2 instance. It's running out of disk space though, like constantly, which I used too cheap of an instance, I think, or I need to set up something for it to like run and not just immediately fill up all the disk space, which kind of sucks. What do you use now though? Because like used to. So did you switch away from it? Oh, you changed jobs. That would do it. GitHub Actions is so nice because it's just free and it works. I used to, before GitHub Actions, I would use CodeShip or Circle CI. One of those two, and they're both pretty good. Your CI was too complex. Was it, were you using like a custom one or homemade or like a self-hosted? The dev spent far too long optimizing something that we didn't need to do. Story of every team, every development team, every company I've ever worked at like has had that issue either ongoing or some time in the past that caused problems. Okay, self-hosted GitHub runners. Nice. He left because a team of 10 delivered 0 customer value in 3 months. Ouch. And yet they were constantly busy. That is the result of believing that efficiency is the most important metric to follow, which is, if you talk to like a business person, they always talk about like efficiency, but they rarely talk about like tracking actual values, like value added to the customer. Like, can you even track that? And you're like, no. Yeah, that sucks. That, I wish I could say that that's not a, like, oh yeah, that's not a common problem. That sucks. And it's like, no, that's so common. That's so common. Invalidate cache failed. Okay, so I want to, actually I can look it up online. I don't think it will have anything bad information in it, but just in case, I'm going to open it up in the browser over here. Okay, clearing the cache, deploy to production. An error occurred. Invalid argument when calling the create invalidation operation. Your request contains one or more invalidation paths. Oh, okay. I think I understand what I did wrong. Oh, and what was the theme they were on? It was this one. The Cappuccino macchiato. There are a lot of coffee-based themes. Oh, wait.